Hello, I'm Marco D'Angelo, joined in studio, Vegas runner, PhillyGodfather.com. You can find me at WagerTalk.com. We're going to preview Indiana at Bowling Green. This is going to be Vegas runner's pick in VR. Big Ten last week. Not a good week for them.
Absolutely not.
They took it on the chin with the games, but you know, everybody wants to jump into panic mode after 1 week. You look at these teams, you know, you see a conference have a bad week like they did, but you know, you got to step back for a second and look. With the exception, okay, Nebraska played, you know, somebody they should have rolled and they struggled. That one, yeah, we got to look at that. But Michigan State went against Oregon, I feel one of the best teams in the country. You had Michigan play Notre Dame. Notre Dame's no slouch. And, well, Ohio State, I don't know, Virginia Tech, we didn't expect that. And obviously for me, that was the only video we lost last week. I'll take 4-1, though, every week we can do it.
Every single week. And, again, that's what I said. If we're going to do the videos this year, the goal is going to be not just marquee games, even though I love primetime games, but it's going to be to give winners, and that's the bottom line. And although Bowling Green and Indiana isn't the sexy matchup in college football, value's value. And in this spot, I think we're getting a ton of it with the favorite. And here's why. I love what you said about the overreaction. And I think when we cover the NFL, we need to touch on that specifically because of the fact there's always a huge knee-jerk reaction between week 1 and week 2. I think one of the biggest overreactions that you could take advantage of. In this spot, Marco, bottom line is this. Usually, I would be on the Bowling Green side. This has perception, injury factor written all over it. But the bottom line is, I don't think that the sports books, the odds makers, have adjusted correctly because it's Bowling Green. And I don't think meaning the betting market has overreacted because it was Bowling Green. Granted, if it was a Florida State quarterback, Oregon quarterback, UCLA even, USC, the market would overreact. But because it was Bowling Green, they're not attracting much attention anyway, so there wasn't an overreaction. I think that's why we're getting value. Because if you look, Matt Johnson was supposed to be a starting quarterback. He's a stud compared to where they're going now with this sophomore that only had 10 attempts coming into this year. That's a huge, huge downgrade. I don't think it's factored into the line properly. So simply based on that alone, I think you're getting value. Coupled with the fact Indiana's the much better team. And for me, I think this has double-digit win written all over it.
All right, and you look at Bowling Green in the last 2 games. Well, they played 2 games so far. Their defense has gotten torched. They gave up 569 yards passing to Western Kentucky. And then last week, VMI comes back and puts up 321 yards. Now, Indiana only had 1 game so far, and they didn't really show anything because it was basically a scrimmage for them. They played Indiana State. They ran the ball ungodly amount of times. I believe it was like 60-some times they rushed the ball. Yeah, 69 against them, and that's all they needed to do to get the win. Yeah. I can guarantee you, they're putting the ball in the air in this game.
Yeah, not only is Coleman going to be able to run all over them, but I also think they're going to be able to throw the football. And I think that's another value sign for Indiana because their quarterback, Robertson, transferred. Most thought, okay, now they have nobody. Actually, this kid that took over, he was the better quarterback. So for me, it's a positive. It's an upgrade, not a downgrade. So, I mean, I think this is just the perfect storm for value, for a situational game for Indiana, not playing anyone last week. I just think, like I said, this has double-digit win written all over it. Usually I'd be on the injured quarterback theory, but you got to take advantage of the opposite in this one and go with the favorite.
All right, that's where we're at. VR says to take Indiana, lay the points on Saturday, and you can find VR at PhillyGodfather.com. Check me out at WagerTalk.com. We'll be back with more videos.